No, this is the update on the project involving this thing right in front of me. Anyway, I finally got the ramp to work. Well, actually, it was working, but I finally got it to be stable and stay stable when the cart runs up it every time. The original problem I was having was that actually the main problem that I was having was that this thing right here would keep falling. And so I added this support for this to stay up, and this would eventually fall too, around the second to last or last lap of the track when I was attempting to record the playthrough. I also worked really hard on this narrow area right here because I found that this was where Luigi would get stuck quite a bit. And here's what I mean. So when Luigi's running down the ramp, sometimes his wheel turns and gets stuck like that. Now, originally, the walls were just straight up vertical, and Luigi couldn't get out of there by turning, so it would effectively soft lock Luigi. And it would effectively soft lock the game until the player restarted or some crap. So originally it was this ramp. So what I did was moved it outward and past there like that. And I also made it lean on this part. So therefore the ramp, the railing is pointing outward. So if Luigi's wheel gets stuck like that, one turn will get him off. And it's not as hard for the cart to turn like that than if it were straight up vertical, in which case the turning mechanism is too weak and can't escape that, therefore soft locking Luigi. There was also this railing right down here, and actually we'll get to this later. There was this railing right here, which Luigi's wheels would get stuck on the most. I decided to put a curtain right here. So the player which extends out a bit, so the player would know when they're getting a bit close to the wall. Well, I would know. The player there is really no other player. There was also one time when Luigi ran into there before I added this thing. So his wheel straight up was right there. So no turning could do it. If he went backwards, he'd go onto the ramp and tumble upside down. I actually tried that, and he did. And if he goes upside down, he's also soft locked. So I added this, which acts as a railing, but I also didn't want Luigi's wheel to get stuck, so I made it a bit loose. And now it's super easy for Luigi to, or the cart. This is Luigi, but it's super easy for the turning mechanism to turn. Actually, it wouldn't even get stuck because it's so loose. I couldn't do that for the other ramps. I couldn't make those too loose because these were attached to this ramp and in a narrow area. Now, let's get on to this. This is the ramp down to this gate, which Luigi rides to get out of the Barbie house. Now, originally, the foundations were a bit weaker than this. Originally, I had this as the base. Then we had this on top, and then we had this top cardboard piece on top of that. Now, that worked fine for most of the laps. But at the end, but every time Luigi rode on the ramp, this thing would slip a bit, and slip a bit, and slip a bit, and it always fell at some point during the 5 laps of the race. So that was a no-go. I replaced the foundations with this over-engineered hunk of junk. Now, first thing I did was make sure this ramp wouldn't tumble off of this piece of cardboard. And what I did was this tape, this duct tape it's hard to explain, but it's tight in this area when there's stress forward. So if there's stress put forward on the ramp, and this thing becomes tight, therefore keeping it from moving forward and falling down. So let's say we put Luigi here, forward on the ramp. These two suspenders keep the ramp up. However, originally, this ramp, when Luigi was on this part, toward the back of the ramp, it would tumble backward. Well, it wouldn't really tumble, it would just slip, which is problematic, because when he's riding down the ramp over there, and he rides onto this, he's actually like 80% on this part of the ramp. So I spent like another hour adding the same things on the other side. But hey, it works. And it was worth it because it doesn't tumble like the original foundations. Now at the very beginning of the project, I literally used normal tape thinking it would hold, because I haven't done a project this big ever. Like, I've taped some cardboard together, but like that was to build a tower or something. So this was the tape I used. This is normal tape for kindergarten arts and crafts or something. And I used it for this ramp because this was originally planned to be the only ramp. I was going to have a drop from the Barbie house, but then before I had that drop, I realized when the cart ran off that drop, I realized Mario Kart 8 isn't a perfect physics simulation. So this thing ended up dropping. Whee! Oh no, it flipped. Yeah. Mario Kart is not the greatest physics simulation. And I especially learned that when doing the drop, not only when trying to get the cart up this ramp, which I can get a protractor. I'm certain it looks like less than a 15 degree. It looks like less than a 15-degree angle, around a 15-degree angle or something. It's not a very steep ramp, obviously. And it was certainly really annoying to set up. Also, this part of the ramp was especially annoying to set up. Because as we reviewed earlier, as I said earlier, this thing would keep falling. And when I had the foundations for this thing, the foundations would keep slipping. So I had to add duct tape. Anyway, yeah. Oh, that feels good on my foot. I'm also trying to find a better way for the cart to go onto the ramp, because in its current state, this is the only area, and I mean like literally this space right here is where Luigi can go on the ramp. Not here, because the cart is a bit too small, and here it just pushes it. So I would have to add like something weighty and small to keep that part down. And I still don't think Luigi can go on the ramp. Actually, oh yeah, he can. He probably can with that. So something weighty and something small. I tried adding weight on that side of the ramp, but that didn't really keep that down well. I want to find a more convenient way for the cart to go up the ramp. So just in case, like, I'm on the last lap and then I fail getting on this part. I mean, it's pretty easy for the cart to get up there, but sometimes I do fail. And here's the result of all the destruction I've been doing just to create this track. I've cut a lot of cardboard. I've screamed a lot of times because this is truly the largest and most tedious project I've ever done. I mean, this is still a fun project. All projects, all like Steam projects or something, are pretty fun. But this is really frustrating. And arguably, this might not be worth it to most people, because the game is extremely broken, and it only does like, it can only do horizontal tracks, like flat stuff. And if you try to have elevation in the track, then a lot of weird stuff happens. The artificial intelligence, the CPUs just phase through your ramps. And the only way to really race someone is like if they also have a physical cart. And I probably should have found like something large. If I were to have like a race between two physical carts, which I don't have two physical carts, but if I did, I don't think both can fit onto there. And one would probably end up pushing the other off and soft locking them. So that would certainly be annoying. So I'm really just gonna do a time trial, because the game's extremely broken with anything else. And I really hope this looks good once it's posted on YouTube or something. And I hope that people enjoy the video, because I completely destroyed my room for this. Even if people don't enjoy the video, I still worked hard on this. So it might be worth like taking a look at the rest of the channel or something. I don't know. Anyway, is this the end of the video? I'll probably post the Mario Kart track video either today or tomorrow, maybe the day after, depending on how things go, depending on if things work. And have a nice day. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested or something.